Hi everyone and welcome to Club 2 Episode 8 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we at Connors Quay Nomads are doing pretty well, I would suggest. Currently sitting in third place. In the last couple of games since you and I were together, we've had 3 games and we've won 2 and lost 1, which is really encouraging. Today we play Colwyn Bay. If we go into the competition page, you can see that in the pre-season, the preview of the season, Colwyn Bay was supposed to finish in third place this season. We were supposed to finish in 6th. But if you look at the current table, Colwyn Bay sit 12th and are really struggling this season in the league. And that's really interesting. We've already been taken out of one of the cup competitions by them, which was really disappointing. So we'll see if we can get our own back today. But I suspect what's likely is that this sleeping giant of a club that are not doing as well as can be expected will probably show up against us. And we currently sit in third place, which is really encouraging. We've had a good couple of games recently, good couple of wins. If we go and look at the schedule, you can see that we beat Newtown 3-1. We lost to Bangor, which was unfortunate, but scored a couple of goals. And part of our issue up until fairly recently has been conceding too many. But you can see, other than the Bangor game, the Barla game and the Newton game, we sort of stopped that rot a little bit, which is very encouraging. If we change the fixtures to goal scorers, you can see that still the star of the show is Busumbru. Right the way from up here, you can see he scores in pre-season. Then he goes on a run here. And the run continues into the game against Barla, sorry. And then Bangor, he gets another goal. And Newtown, it gets another goal. And so we're hoping for more of the same today from Busumbru, who is absolutely the star of our show and is just doing phenomenally well. 10 goals in 10 games so far this season, and that's the difference between finishing mid-table and finishing in the top part of the table. If you can get somebody like that, if we can keep hold of him all season long and warn off anybody that tries to come and take him from us, then we'll be laughing, I think, for most of this season, because he's that much of an influence. So far, he's doing incredibly well. The big problem that we have is this statistic here, goals conceded. We let in 16, and that means that we're 11th best in the league, and we need to cut that out. I think we've done that a little bit in the last couple of games. We've changed a couple of things again in our gegenpress style, in some of the tactics, just to slow ourselves down a little bit, be a bit more considered. So I'm hoping that that continues to work. In terms of the players for today's game, the only person that's out with a slight knock is Callum Roberts, who would normally find himself on the bench as a reserve fullback. So he won't be on the bench today, but everybody else is fit. I think that's pretty much all I need to tell you about before we go into today's game. So let's just check out the team, and it is the normal starting 11 of Brass in goal, Tatum at right back, Owens at left back, Gardner and Edwards in central defence, Evans, Rogers and McBurney in central midfield, with Sarmento on the right, Parry on the left and Busumbru up top. And we've got Hope, Harden, Harris, Palmer, Fenlon and Graham on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, I've suggested to them assertively that we go out there and carry straight on from where we finished the last match, which obviously was a good win for us, so that was encouraging, and it got a little bit of a response, which is good. Colwyn Bay are at home. They're playing a 4-5-1, very specific, straight across the midfield line of 5. No attacking, no defensive midfielders, all on that central midfield line. So that'll be interesting to see how we cope with that. But other than that, they're pretty much sort of matching up to us in terms of their rough team shape. God dear, put my teeth in, see if we can get going. Let's get into kickoff. So as I say, we're away from home, which is, always a bit more challenging. But we will find ourselves in our black kit today, as Colwyn Bay look to be in sort of like a blue and claret kind of kit. So this is the first highlight for us, and it's in our left fullback area, and he goes over the top to Busumbru to run on, and he misses. Busumbru misses a shot. That's just shocking. But a good ball over the top from Owens from our left fullback position. An opportunity for Colwyn Bay to go long. Good defensive header, but they win it back again in midfield and go down the right-hand side with Thomas. He cuts in, right-footed, and there's a good opportunity for a nice opportunity for Colwyn Bay in an early stage of the game, but just about we managed to get it clear, and good goalkeeping as part of that. So corner comes in for Colwyn Bay, and the header is blocked, which is good. But it comes straight out to Lewis on the top of the penalty box, and he puts it really nicely in that far corner, doesn't he? That was a lovely strike, and the goalkeeper Brass didn't really stand too much of a chance. So Rahman comes in with the original corner kick. We get it partially cleared, but it's picked back up again for Colwyn Bay, and teed up very nicely for Lewis, and he puts it home comfortably for a 1-0 win. We've picked up 3 yellow cards already. It's another problem that we've got this season, is our yellow card count is ridiculously high. I don't think I've got them overly aggressive or anything, but it's just the way they're playing. Sarmento with a chance to cross it in, but the cross is blocked and they clear it, but only to Tatum in our right back spot, and he again goes long up to Basumbru. The Sarmento picks up the loose ball again, crosses to the far post, and it's parry off the woodwork, and McBurney with the follow up, and they eventually Colwyn Bay get it cleared. But we had a couple of really decent opportunities then. As I was saying about the yellow cards, I think we're really high up in terms of league totals for yellow cards, and a couple of people have already served a suspension for reaching their limit, I think. So we've got to watch that a little bit. I might have to tweak a few things as the second half of the season goes along, just so we stop getting suspensions in a silly way. But yeah, a bit disappointing that really, because I haven't set them up to be that aggressive. Anyway, Sarmento with the corner kick goes far post, and there's Basumbru again, the goal scoring machine that is Basumbru, and is a lovely far post header and cuts it right back into the far side for him. Look at that header into the far corner, right in that far corner. Lovely, lovely header. Good corner from Sarmento, and we managed to claw our way back into the game at 1-1 at half time, which is really good. We looked a little bit as though we were going to get overrun slightly for a little while in that first half, but in the last couple of seconds managed to claw it back, and it gives me something to encourage them with for the second half. So Jay Catton, our assistant manager, says encourage the players, give them a bit of a morale boost. I will let him do that. It didn't get too much of a response, did it really? But never mind. There's no issues fitness-wise. We've got all those yellow cards to figure out, so we'll probably have to take a couple of them out of the game later on, just so we don't get more suspensions. But other than that, things are going pretty well away from home, really. Against however badly they might be doing in sitting at the bottom of the table, we are against a team that were scheduled to finish really high up this season. So this is a good showing by us. And again, we have the opportunity to build up from the back. But again, we lose the ball in their defensive area. And they put it long over the top. But we managed to recover from Owens in our fullback position. For a second then, I thought, is Brass going to be able to control that back pass? But he just about did. And again, we get to work it through from defence into midfield. And then the highlight goes. So let's go and make a couple of those changes, because we're picking up way too many yellow cards, so we're going to have to take a couple of these out. So Rogers in the centre of midfield is coming out, and Harris is going to go on for him. I don't mind McBurney having a yellow card, but he's got a 6.6 rating and a 6.3 for parry. So, do we just focus on these yellow cards, or would you take the sort of slightly lower average rated players out as well? I think we're going to have to take Parry out. I'm not happy about that. I'll leave McBurney on, and we'll take one of these defensive yellow cards out, and I think we're going to go with Tatum and put Harden on at right back instead, and just see if we can get through the rest of the game without a problem in terms of more bookings. Parry on that left-hand midfield role, getting a 6.3 or whatever it was, not good enough. Cross comes in for Colwyn Bay. We get again partially cleared, and they pick up the ball again in midfield and come back at us. Switch it out to this right-hand side. Grisdale with the cross into the far post, and that was some half volley, wasn't it? How would you pronounce that guy's name? I wouldn't have a clue, but it's a good build-up play down this right-hand side for Grisdale. Long sweeping ball, and unfortunately Owens on our left-sided fullback, was that low? No, right-sided. Our right-sided fullback didn't quite get tight enough to the man, And in the end, it was a very good finish, wasn't it, on the volley? And we go 2-1 down with 15 minutes to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the balance and we're going to go more attacking for the last little bit of the game and see if we can get ourselves back into this particular match. They've gone all the way back to the goalkeeper to rebuild their attack. And it goes into midfield, but we win it in midfield. And a first-time ball back out to Sarmento. Has he got anybody in the box to find? He hasn't really, but that was a dodgy challenge. And we get a penalty kick from it. And here we go with the penalty kick, and it's McBurney on our penalties, and he puts it nicely away in that bottom right-hand corner, and we go to 2-2 again. It was a good move by Sarmento, using his pace down the right-hand side to get in the box, and it was a fairly poor challenge, wasn't it, really, once the ball had left Sarmento, and that led to the penalty that McBurney then converts, which is positive. And straight back come Colwyn Bay with another opportunity. And they work it nicely around the penalty area, but we get a foot in with Owens and he intercepts the ball nicely. Busumbru holds it up nicely back to McBurney and he brings it through to Evans, and Evans hits the crossbar. I thought for a second that was going flying into the top of the goal, but it didn't quite. It hit the crossbar and rebounded comfortably for safety. And it looks like the time's ticking by. Have we got one more chance in us? Owens over the top for nobody was there. Neither McBurney running through from midfield or Busumbru. They hadn't read the pass and it was a bit wayward, wasn't it, really? And the goalkeeper picks it up for Colwyn Bay and sends it into our right back area. And our right back, Harden, does win that ball, which is lovely. Gardner back to Harden, keeping the ball nicely in defence. Can we now move it forward? We can over the top for a little bit of space for Busumbru again. And the good goalkeeping. He stayed upright, made himself big, and Busumbru struggled to get it past him. Corner comes in, but it was an easy clearance on that occasion for Colwyn Bay. But Sarmento picks up the loose ball, puts it back in again, and again they get it partially cleared. And the highlight goes at that point. A little bit disappointing in the last couple of seconds. We had a couple of chances and didn't really find any quality in our crossing specifically. But having said that, I think considering they've already knocked us out of a cup competition this season, a 2-2 draw against Colwyn Bay isn't that bad. I think they'll come good later in the season and show that they are one of the better sides in this division, even if they're struggling a little bit. I'm going to go with unlucky, boys. It just wasn't our night, even though I think actually we should probably be celebrating the draw. I will suggest that we were a bit unlucky not to win the game, and hopefully that will get some more confidence in them. Dropped a place, which is unfortunate, but at this point in the season, I am absolutely delighted with where we are and how we're doing, and the fact that we're competitive in this division, which is a real step up from last season where we found them in 7th place when we took over. So yeah, all in all, that's not too bad. And it's Colwyn Bay that hold out for a draw, not us. We really put the pressure on in the last couple of minutes. As I say, just had that little problem with a bit of quality that was needed. But there we go. In terms of coming back for the next episode, let's see what we've got coming up. I think we're going to come back and meet for Llandudno. That's a game that we're going to play next. So for the next episode, we'll play Llandudno, and then probably after that, we'll go into sort of December time, maybe play either the cup competition or Kevin Druids. So yeah, one or the other of them. But for the next one, it'll be Llandudno. So I hope you'll join me for that. Thanks very much for joining me for today. It's really great to have so many people viewing my content. I've seen a real upturn since the new year on people viewing stuff. So welcome along. I'm so delighted that you've decided to join me. So thanks very much for that. If you're enjoying the series, why not subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? That will help you keep up to date with the videos. If you like this particular episode, then please click that like button. It's really important to help the growth of my channel to get more people seeing my content, and one of the ways you can help that is by clicking that like button. So if you could do that, that would be great. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, I hope you're having a great time doing it. I really am enjoying myself. So let me know how your saves are going in the comments below. Always interested to hear your stories. But until next time, take care of yourselves. Thanks for joining me, and bye for now.